Hello and welcome back to another review of me, Kevin, from Kevin Grant on Whiskey. This week I've got a Glencadam, which is a 17-year-old and finished in port casks. Something I've not had, it's kind of one of the older bottles I've probably had on my channel. I usually have slightly more core range stuff, easier to get your hands on, and I would say maybe kind of decent prices. So we look at Glencadam here. The 10-year-old is absolutely brilliant value for money if you're looking for something, a nice bourbon cask for a good price, sometimes sub £40, and it's always 46% in non-chill filtered. The full range of Glencadam, or the most of the core range, is 46% in non-chill filtered, including this today. So this is 17 years old. It's limited edition, so it's a 2004 edition, so if we add that on 17, it's 2021. 7,770 bottles released. This is bottle number 5,279. So I'm not too sure on how long the finish has been. It has been filled into bourbon casks in most of its life, and then it's been put into a finish in these port casks, giving it this nice colour. And looking at it as well, it's cloudy. It's not really see-through, which I love, because that's when you know it's that raw flavour that's got that the raw non-chill filtered in there and the natural colour. If this was filtered, it would be very clear to see. So I quite like why that about it already. So look at Glencadam, the bottling and stuff and everything's really good. We've got a lot of information on there, which I do like. So it's a Highland owned by Angus Dundee. Angus Dundee did take over in, I had to write this one down because I was getting my dates mixed up. 2003. Before that, it was Allied Damick had sold it to Angus Dundee. So we got all the way back to 1825 when it was founded. It's had some really good history, what it's done, and what they just fitted last year was a water wheel, which is part of traditional building within the distillery itself of Glencadam, and this regenerates energy for them. So I think it's got 32 buckets within their wooden buckets in a stainless steel compartment, and within the middle of the distillery it goes round and collects water and bringing energy into the distillery itself. So in the etching of the bottle, you'll not be able to see, it'll be quite hard. It says established in 1825, Glencadam Distillery on the front, owned by Angus Dundee up in Brecon, and it's been bottled in Scotland. So it's got all the kind of information which is good etched into the glass and not onto the label, which is quite different. It's got all the information. If, for instance, if this label was lost, we would know exactly where it came from. If all the wrappers were taken off and all the stickers, we would know exactly where it came from, but we just wouldn't know the age of that whiskey. So I quite like that. The style of bottle is quite clean, quite crisp in what we get. So the whiskey itself, 17 years old, finished in port cask from Porto. So I'm expecting kind of jammy notes, sweeter notes again. I've not done much in port cask, but I do see a lot of distilleries are starting to really bring it out and bring it to the forefront. So there must be something there that they're seeing a market for. So 2004, bought in 2021. Let's see what we get on the nose. There is a sweet note to that. It's got the kind of ice and sugar note again, the powdered sugar coming through. Soft cherry, strawberry. Oh, it smells great. Soft sugar, powdered sugar, soft cherry, strawberry. There's like a soft maltiness coming through as well. Like the bourbon cask is really still infused within that. But that jammy note on the nose. Let's have a wee dram. Slainte everyone. Yep. There's a soft dryness coming at the end. There's a sweetness at the start. The kind of maltiness kind of stays there. Like the bourbon cask influence, that sweetness, I think there's why I'm getting now a bit more kind of caramel, toffee notes, it's like a caramel macchiato. That soft coffee note coming through, the sweetness, and then that tiny bit of bitterness on it as well, but the sweetness really overpowers it. So caramel macchiato, I would say, is giving me that note with the strawberry still being in the forefront. Cherries kind of drop off in the palate. It smells wonderful. I'm going to put some water in this. Not that I think it needs it. I've not tried it with water. Dilute it slightly and see if anything wants to open up. But look at the bottle. I've got the tin here as well, telling it's all limited. When I got this, I never read it because I've just kind of opened it. It's actually from my local shop, the Gantry, the Scottish Gantry. I've popped in and I've asked, I've not tried that. It says, I need to do my review this week, do you mind? It says, no, take it away, no problem. So I need to make sure it goes back and I've not scalped most of it. But so far, great first impressions. So on this here, it's telling me kind of a lot has been done. Ex-bourbon oaks it was started in, and then it's been moved and married into the finest port pipes. So taste notes on the back, it says rich festive with aromas of cooked fruits, sweet spices mingled with strawberry tarts, boiled sweets and gingerbread. The gingerbread, I don't really get that spicy note to it, that kind of soft ginger I usually get a little kick from. I don't get it from that. The strawberry stuff, yes. Soft spice, cooked fruits, yep. The palate is saying we've got bramble, poached pears, black cherry, oat biscuits, chocolate ganache, and again oat spices. Pears, I'm not really getting. Black cherry, yes, I would definitely go with that. Oat biscuits, I'm maybe getting that soft malty note is maybe what I'm getting from there. The chocolate ganache, maybe caramel macchiatos, maybe what's going on with that. Rounded with long notes of dark chocolate souffle, berry coulis, coffee grounds, leaving a sweet cinnamon linger. Okay, well, so similarities there for sure on the tasting notes from what I'm getting, but everyone's notes are different. You know, we all taste things differently. About the moment that you're in, it can taste your tasting whiskey can be different. If you're in really good company, having a really good day, whiskey can taste phenomenal. If you're having a bad day and you just had a dram I need a dram today because I've had a shocking day, I'm just going to sit down, it can taste completely different. It can taste flatter because your mood you're in. So I find company experiences can make it different. Today I'm finding this, I can smell the port. I really can smell port. If I had a glass of port beside me, there would be a lot of similarities, and you would be. If you were to smell a glass of port and sherry side by side, you would know this was a port cask finish by going in between. That soft malty note still stays there, maybe with that oat, what they're saying. And I think that's maybe got a lot to do with how the 10-year-old Glencadam is a forefront, amazing go-to starting whiskey. So Glencadam also have, or Angus Dundee also have Tom and Tool in their armoury, but I think Glencadam's more the forefront, the Tom and Tool's lighter whiskey. I think that's what they're known as, the light whiskey of 40%, 43% around there. But this is the coming at you price point, great as well. As I said, the 10-year-old's very cheap for what you get, and this here is between £110 and £120 for 17-year-old port cask limited edition. It's good. You know, I think you would really need to love port cask to say, I need to get this whiskey, I need to spend that money on a finish or collectible. I don't think it's one 7,000 ml bottles is a lot still to be out there, but I think this is a yearly release that they do, or every couple of years, so they don't just constantly bring it out. So it's got a little bit of water in it now. It's had a wee bit of time to settle. Not much has changed. That kind of powdered sugar, soft cherry, strawberry. Yeah, nothing's really changed on the nose. We'll try on the palate. Really good mouthfeel. The 46% seems like the absolute on the ball number. I don't get an alcohol hit of, wow, it's got a lot of alcohol in it, and I don't get a flat, there's no alcohol in it. It just hits the spot. It's enjoyable. The mouth feels good. The ABV I think is spot on for this. The sweetness is there, soft dryness at the end, which I didn't expect. That caramel macchiato note is still there with the sweetness, with the strawberries, the cherries, the softer kind of vanilla note with, I think, what I'm getting from that maybe powdered sugar and the bourbon influence from it. It's a very well-rounded dram. 17 years of age. It's got a bit of life experience. It's a bit more settled. It's got a bit more maturity to it, I would say. And I think that's where ABV really can take its point on age. Older whiskies, it's a bit more settled. Younger whiskies at 46% can be quite lively and taste higher than they are. And older whiskies at 46% can maybe taste lower. And I'm getting that today. I think this is a really, really good dram. I wouldn't pay £115 for it though. I would, for me, maybe justifying it. Maybe at the time, if I'm looking for something in port cask, I've not explored enough with port cask, and maybe that's why. Maybe if I tried other whiskies that are port cask matured, this is my benchmark. So if everything falls short of it, then yes, I would probably pay that money because I'm enjoying this dram. It's an easy sipping to go to. And I think a lot of people would enjoy this if they like the kind of sweeter side, but not too sweet. I would maybe go for this. Again, I would probably leave the water out. The water was fine going in, but next time I pour a dram, I'm going to leave the water out of it. It's been enjoyable. It's a distillery I've still not been to. It's one that I hopefully can get to. I love what they do, and just keeping everything simple. 46% non-chill filtered, done. Says it on the label, everything's all on there, right at the bottom, in gold lettering, capital letters, unchill filtered, natural colour. And every bottle you pick up, I think, in the core range has that. Maybe bar their Reserva Andalusia, or the Origin, I think, is part of the core range, might not be 46%, but I think all the age statements are 46%, the non-chill filtered. This whiskey I've definitely enjoyed, but I would hold back on, at this moment in time, diving in with £100 or more to buy it until I try other port cask matured whiskies. But I've enjoyed it, and I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of this. And I need to take the bottle back as well, which is fine. I'll give it back. I've had a day of golf. If I look a bit red, that's why that is. In Scotland, sun lotion or sunscreen is very rare. I did not wear it today, and I feel I should have, so I've got a terrible golfer's tan going to be coming on. But I enjoyed my day. I got to spend it with my dad and my granddad, not play golf with them together ever, all at the same time, so I'll raise a wee glass to them to say thanks for having a wee family day and something that we don't do often. I'll raise a glass to everyone else for subscribing, commenting, liking, sharing, all these things. I appreciate everyone that does everything for the channel. So I'll sign off just now. As I've been Kevin from Kevin Grant on Whiskey. Enjoy me next week, and let's talk whiskey. Slainte.